This nigga Gero is a crackhead with Riz, and I'm not gonna lie to you, he's him, bro. So we start this story with an evil company meeting where they're using humans as chairs. Like, nigga, what the fuck are you
Absolutely
doing, bro? What's the
disgusting, by
point
the
of
way.
doing this? And I know them niggas are not comfortable at all. And let's just acknowledge the level of strength this nigga has, because this fat ass nigga is sitting on him. I know his thighs and his knees are burning, bro. And we can even see this nigga trembling. So these niggas have a toast to their evil deeds. And we see our own hero crackhead leaving the building as a server. And once he leaves, these niggas just start coughing up blood and start dying on the spot. And this nigga was so slick, he simply just walked out the room whilst another nigga is being blamed for the murder. So Ghetto leaves the building to visit his sister. Whilst he's walking on the street, he sees this nigga in a beamer just doing his thing. Let's just remember this girl because she's very important to the story. So we get back home and Ghetto is talking to his sister about how fucked up his family is and how they want him to get married so that their bloodline doesn't go extinct. But this nigga doesn't know how to talk to women. And that's understandable because he was literally brought up to be an assassin. And I don't think in them lessons, bro, he's getting any risen techniques, any risen talks, any form of, hey, yo, this is what you do when you're chatting to women, innit? So obviously you have to be nice and that. You have to say hello, introduce yourself, then get her name. Nah, none of that. His family taught him how to use fence to assassinate niggas. Moving on, Ghetto has a new job and he's given the opportunity to get it cracking with these two girls. Oh, I know some of you niggas would have failed, bro. I know some of you niggas would have went in that back room and started like, but this job that Ghetto has to do is to torture and kill this girl that we've seen before with the guy in the beamer. So he pokes her up with one of his fent needles and just waits for it to kick in. And he gets a call from his sister and she tells him she's going back home to get married. Bear in mind, his sister is a lesbian. So Ghetto, knowing that his sister is only doing this so that he can live a free life away from the family, even though he's still taking jobs for the family, doesn't want his sister to do this. So he makes a decision right there and then and tells her he has found a wife. This nigga was capping, bro. He tells her this so that she doesn't have to get married. Oh, what a sweet older brother. Now you must be thinking, he has found a wife? How and when? Wow, he tries to make a deal with his prisoner, the person he's trying to kill, who he just poked with a fent needle and is about to geek the fuck out. So he proposes this deal to her and tells her he will heal her and set her free. But she rejects him and laughs in this nigga's face. She is dead. She is actually dead. But Ghetto actually wanted her to find him a wife because she is a marriage swindler who finesses rich niggas. And she actually does this for a noble cause, for her little brother who's currently actually in the hospital. So this story touches Ghetto's heart and he decides he will save her and she will find him a wife. Like, she had no choice. It was unconsensual. This is an unconsensual rescue, bro. What the fuck? So the guy who hired Ghetto to kill this girl figures out that there's something going on. They have been talking for a bit too long and my man was in the back room watching the torture, bro. He's a sick man. So he pulls up with his goons, all strapped up, ready to blow out Ghetto's back. He pulled up with his goons ready to air out this entire place. Ghetto turns around. He injects himself with a fent needle and everything just starts moving in slow motion. I don't know what kind of strain of fence this is, but who is your family members? Like, why are they teaching you to stab yourself in the neck? Like, why? What purpose? I know that's the only way to inject. Bro, you could have took like a tablet, bro. You get me? So bullets are just flying in slow motion at Ghetto right now. And he just teleports on top of the roof and everything goes black. Like, I mean, the scene is black. And then when we come back, we see these niggas laid out on the floor, twitching, bro. They are traumatized. Like, what the fuck did this nigga do to these man? So after saving May, who's the girl on the seat who he was about to kill, she takes him back to her hotel to shower and freshen up. And when she finishes, we find out this girl is not a girl, but a boy who pretends to be a girl. And May is a marriage swindler, so it actually does make sense. After they both introduce themselves and start getting to know each other, the story to find Ghetto a wife starts. So this nigga May gets a mixer going on for my nigga Ghetto. Whilst they're at the mixer, Ghetto proceeds to flop every single interaction that he is given. First one, he just straight up flexes on this girl, telling her he makes millions, telling her he makes $1 million a year. The second one, he tries to smile and creeps her the fuck out. And the rest of them must have been so bad that we didn't even see them. And there was at least 5 girls. I promise you, there's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls, and we only seen 2. After that poor performance, being a W man's, May secures this nigga another date. day with this girl, and since he's an assassin who specializes in poison, he doesn't eat anything that is given to him. So whilst he's on this date, he is struggling to eat jelly, and this girl just straight up leaves. Since that was another flop, they both decide to just go home, and whilst they're going home, May is kidnapped, and Ghetto, not wanting to lose his marriage counselor, he chases this car. This nigga runs after a full speeding car and catches it. We didn't end up seeing this, but I know he injected himself with something, because how are you running that fast? So he ends up slicing this car in half with a substance. I don't know what it is, but this substance in a bottle sliced a car in half. He ends up saving May and ends up rizzing her up in the process. Broski, this nigga has trauma riz, and this is not just our only victim of Gero's trauma riz, bro. Our second victim of the trauma riz is Himikawa, who is a thief who steals priceless arts and returns them back to the owner or to their family. And she is kidnapped by another evil corporation who wants all of their artwork that they have stolen in their lifetime. But the thing is, them niggas did not have it because they just gave it all back to the people who owned the art. So the group that Himikawa works with hires Gero to rescue her from their evil arms. So Gero and May sneak into where they're holding Himikawa, and he is beating the living shit out of every single guard. Like, I mean, they had no chance of stopping this nigga. And I know them niggas are getting fired after all of this is over, because they didn't slow him down not one bit. Whilst this is happening, Himikawa is being tortured, and it's not the usual torture methods, but a psychological torture method. This nigga pointed a gun to a painting she stole, and she started to fold. She was begging for the painting to not be destroyed. Personally, I don't give a fuck about that painting, bro. Are you mad? As long as that gun is not pointed at me, I'm good. But this nigga is not listening to what she is saying. Her begging is going through one ear and going out the other. He is about to blow the fuck out this painting, and just before he is about to pull the trigger, his hand gets cut and he falls to the ground, and we see this rainbow fluid coming out. At first I was confused why this nigga was bleeding rainbows. I thought this nigga was a unicorn or something. Whilst this nigga is screaming in pain, he starts to see a ghost coming out of the painting, and she came closer and started to burn this nigga alive. And we see Ghetto coming out of nowhere, but all of that shit was all in his head. I don't know what this nigga Ghetto used to cut this nigga's arm off, but this shit must have been laced with fent, bro. Because what the fuck makes a nigga start seeing shit? So Ghetto is about to rescue Himikawa, but she is taken by this motherfucker wearing a flipping astronaut costume, and Himikawa is kidnapped for the second time. This nigga Ghetto wastes no time. Nigga puts on his gas mask and injects himself with fent. This nigga must have 9 lives the way he's just pumping himself with these needles. So these two niggas start to box, and the astronaut nigga pulls out an elephant gun, smashing Ghetto into the ground, and it looked like this nigga Ghetto is done, but he somehow survives that with the help of the fent hit. Now there's a standstill, and the astronaut runs in for the attack, but stops just before hitting Ghetto and pulls out a business card. Brother is trying to negotiate his ass away from this beating. Broski, I know you're an assassin, but like, damn, nigga really business motivated, you know, money motivated. I'm inspired. So she introduces herself and tries to convince Ghetto to switch sides by paying him 10 times more than what he is getting. One of Ghetto's needles falls near May, and she is about to pick that shit up, but this nigga screams at her to not touch it. Hey, that needle must be powerful, or this nigga just didn't want anyone to use the last bit of his fence. But Ghetto tells the astronaut no to the offer, and she blitzes this nigga and he dodges it, and they start boxing. The astronaut blasting water pistols at him, but she keeps on missing, and he counters with a fent bomb, runs to her and slaps her straight to the ground, and he tries to stand on her head, but she dodges that shit. But this nigga is not letting up. He chases her down, coming in with a headshot, cracking her helmet, knocking her down while she's talking about wifing up Himikawa. I'm like, what the fuck, nigga, fight? Why you talking about her, bro? You was about to die. die. You're in a scrap fight, bro. The astronaut stops playing around and releases a secret technique, water bending. This girl is a water bender, bro. She tries to get this nigga Ghetto, and honestly, I don't know how he is missing. She literally has the power of the ocean. Just drown the nigga, bro. Literally drown the nigga. Dash a bucket of water on this nigga's head, and that is it, bro. That's all you need to do. But this nigga Gero's fence is wearing off, so he's slowing down, and he finally gets a hit. And once he does, he remembers his father's words. One only takes jobs more than 1 billion yen, which is around 4 milli. And this nigga is taking it for what, 10,000 yen, 1,000 yen? How much is 1,000 yen? Let me search that one. This nigga is taking a job for 616. Brother, what are you doing? He's getting his ass beat for Himikawa. She is touched by this and she wants to help him, and she delivers his fent needle directly to him, and he hits that shit, and just before it's about to drop to the ground, he teleports behind the astronaut and drowns her. Nigga, how do you control water and get defeated by water? So now that this nigga Gero has saved yet another woman from danger, he decides to save another woman from danger. Since he left the astronaut to drown on the floor, she is suffering. So this nigga makes a cure for her disease because she's actually allergic to the sunlight. That's why she was submerged by water. But again, how do you drown by water if you're submerged by water to counter your disease to the sun? I don't understand that. But Garo makes a cure for her disease, gives it to her, and he literally goes on a date the next day with Himakawa to a shark museum. And whilst they're on this date, this nigga teases this woman by asking her to be friends. Bro, this was the best opportunity to ask her out, but his reason for why he asked her to be his friend was actually kind of heartwarming. He just wanted to start as a friendship and develop from there. And honestly, I'm not angry about it, man. But what actually pisses me off is the fact that you're not subscribed and you've been watching this video until this point. Brother, why are you not subscribed? Subscribe, my guy. Come on now. But our next victim, our third victim, is this girl called Shiryu. And her uncle hired Gero to protect her in college since she is the inheritor of the family business. And her auntie wanted her dead so she can inherit the company instead. Nigga, she needs to cut her off because what the fuck do you mean my auntie wants me dead for some money? Nigga. So when Gero is hired for this job, he ends up going to a college drinking party with Chiryu and everyone is introducing themselves, and when it comes to Chiryu's turn, she gets nervous and shy and sits straight back down. Gero, being a nice guy, he decides he's going to make her feel better by becoming the life of the party, and since she is with him, she can now talk to people and feel less nervous if he is the life of the party. So when it's his turn, this nigga stands up, says his name, and grabs 8 pints of Guinness and proceeds to chug it all at once at the same flipping time, and he ends up vomiting it all out, coming out in a long ass condom. Brother just had a condom stuck in his mouth. Why have you got, how has this long object been in your throat? After all that, this nigga gets up with a smile, thinking that everyone would be impressed by this performance. Nigga, that shit was gross. After the party, it seems like that shit just flopped. And now Ghetto is walking her home, giving her some encouragement, telling her she should chase her dreams. Now, we move on to the classroom, where Ghetto, Mei, and Chiryu are just in class, and the class just starts shaking like there is an earthquake or something. And everyone is slammed to the desk as if gravity just decided to double its pressure. Then we get a frame of this assassin meditating to make this all happen. This nigga made a whole classroom collapse on itself with his mind. But this cheap parlor trick isn't enough for our Fent Fiend Ghetto. Since this nigga is him and no one can stop him from getting that Fent hit, he stabs himself in the neck, defies gravity, and saves Cheerio just right before it was about to collapse onto her. And if you look at this scene, we only see the classroom getting destroyed. None of the whole school is destroyed. This nigga is not playing no games. Your aunts must hate your fucking guts to hire this nigga to kill you. Now these niggas are going on a camping trip with the class, and once they get to the campsite, this nigga Ghetto starts showing the fuck off, showing these niggas how it's really done on the grill, taking all the attention away from Chiryu. But Chiryu is trying to get some, but shit is not working out. So she decides to dress up as a witch and had half of these niggas fiend ballooning, smiling like you just found treasure. So she dresses up as a witch and decides to do a magic trick and got everyone smiling, giggling, and laughing, man. And she messes up one, and you know some of these men were hungry since one of them asks her if she's okay. Nigga, noodles just fell on their head, bro. Why you trying to get some? Why you trying to be a sneaky little freak, bro? Laugh with the rest of the gang. Now it's night, and all these niggas are telling ghost stories and shit, having fun and shit, and they decide to do a test of courage. So Gero and Chiryu pair up together and go into the forest, and this nigga starts rising up and shit, talking his talk. And once they got to the place to take the picture to complete the challenge, this girl looks at her phone to look at the picture to not see Gero, and sees this creepy symbol looking face. Then she turns around to Gero, and this nigga is not there. So she goes out looking for this nigga, which is a bad idea. Go back to where you started, my bro, okay? So she goes back looking for this nigga to find him underground, geeking the fuck out. This nigga turns around and turns into this symbol, creepy looking fucking thing that she's seen in her phone. Now she does that dash, she starts running, and this thing is chasing the fuck out of her, bro. And it almost catches up, but she escapes into a cabin, bro. Brother, she got lucky because them fingers were close. As she's calming down, she realizes she's in a weird ass place. She sees a rope, she sees weird objects, brother, and this is where it all gets mad. She sees a figure. It starts getting closer and closer and closer, and she realizes this is her dad. Nigga, her dad is dead. Nigga, if you're seeing the dead, you are about to meet them. She starts talking to her dad, and her dad is just traumatizing this woman, bro. He is calling her useless, a burden, everything a daughter does not want to hear from a father, bro. And this nigga starts deforming and tries to convince her to off herself. And she's about to do it, but then she remembers that she actually does want to live her life. She has things that she wants to do. So she tries to escape by jumping out the window, falling down a whole mountain. Thinking that she's about to die, she chooses to get out her umbrella and sees if that would help her float to safety. That shit did not work, and she is still falling to her death. We see our favorite friend addict Gero. This nigga grabs the condom that he stores in his mouth, in his throat. Yes, the same condom from that party. And he soaks it into water and throws it into the water, making the condom absorb the water to make a water balloon. Jumping to catch this girl, he lands on this water balloon. Now face to face with the assassin, they start talking, and this nigga ends up getting too close to the target, bro. I mean, too close, bro. What is Gero doing, bro? I know you kind of freaked out right now because of the vent, but bro, this nigga could have killed the target easily. But this nigga flashes his needle to scare him. And honestly, that was a good idea because that would scare anybody. Now this nigga needs to get Chiryu out of here, bro. So she climbs on top of him. He hits another needle and starts to dash. As this nigga is running, the assassin activates his technique whilst he is sitting on a massage chair just relaxing. This nigga is not serious. When Gero gets to safety, he ends up finding out that Chiryu actually got hit by one of the attacks. So she ends up getting off Gero and running away from this nigga to find her bigger, muscular uncle just working out with trees. And the uncle turns around and tells her she is a burden. A child shouldn't hear this from a family member. But Gero comes in and kicks that living shit out this nigga, bro, snapping her out of her mind control. And Gero ends up hitting her with a fent needle. Brother, that is dangerous. That is genuinely dangerous. She could honestly die. Okay, but I guess he's a professional. I guess he knows what he's doing. So Gero starts getting serious by putting on his mask. And you know, when he puts on his mask, shit was about to go down. Someone's about to get a fat needle in their ass, nigga. So Gero starts looking for this assassin just to find a big ass golem trying to attack him. Now he's fighting this golem just for this big ass creature to just stop moving. This nigga Gero cannot be defeated. What the fuck do you mean you beat a whole golem? This nigga was taller than the whole forest. How have you stopped it from moving? The assassin sees this and starts to panic and goes into the forest to see that he was tricked and it was all a trap. So this assassin ends up releasing everyone he was controlling, and these students at the camp start bugging out, trying to find someone who they should kill, bro. Like they were trying to sacrifice somebody. Then we go back to the fight, and Ghetto is running for his life whilst this guy is whistling and chopping up wood to make a violin. Since this nigga's power has to do with sound, I do understand it, but there has to be a better weapon you could have made. Like a flute would have been the perfect weapon for your power. This nigga ends up throwing his violin and runs. He doesn't even put up a fight, he just runs, and he spots a green pond, and what I assume is just tree sap that would make him stronger if he sucked on it. And when he sees it, he just starts freaking out, bro. Like, look at this nigga, he's really getting freaked out over some tree cum. Nigga, you gay. So he starts sucking on this sap to get stronger, but that shit was laced by the one and only Fang King Ghetto. Now he starts feeling that extra kick real quick, which gives Ghetto the chance to defeat him, bro. Now it's the next day, and these niggas are picked up by Chiryu's uncle in a helicopter while this nigga is doing pull-ups. Bro, there is no need to stunt on these niggas like this, bro. Since the assassin couldn't do his job, he calls off the job, and the auntie is pissed. She really wanted that company. As a new assassin is getting the job, these niggas pull up, knocking his ass out, and Chiryu walks up to her auntie and asks her if she can teach her how to run the business. She is too sweet for this, bro. Nigga, I would have knocked their teeth out her mouth, shaved their head bald, and made her give a homeless man some fucking money, bro. Are you mad? No flipping shame, bro. No shame. And she accepts. After this, Gero and May have completed their job, so they decide, let's just get the fuck out, and they jump out the window, bro. They try running away, but Chiryu was not having it. She wanted to say her thanks and wanted a one last drink with them, but that was just her way of trying to confess her feelings to Ghetto. After this guy saves her from death, she wants to fall in love with this nigga. This nigga really is a master of the trauma risk, and his next victim is a girl I would even help. I would fall for her too, bro. Who wouldn't? Look at her, bro. Gero is hired by this girl called Kimi, who hires him to protect her from the hitman hunter. While they are talking, she tries to flex on them, so they straight up just leave. So she begs them to come back and asks Gero to protect her one more time. May doesn't want to do it, but Gero at least wants to hear it out, and just from that response, she starts to fall in love. Like, brother just wants to hear you. How you already? She even faints, bro, and when she faints, Gero being a flipping hero, he catches her, and she is literally salivating, bro. So now that Gero has a job, they go to meet Kimi's crew to find out these niggas are all dead. All 6 of these niggas are just laid out on the floor, and we have this nigga just sitting there waiting for his next victim. Once this guy notices that Kimi and Gero are there, with no hesitation, he stands up and straight up tries to stab her, but Gero pushes her out the way and takes the hit. The hitman hunter goes for another slash, cutting the top of the whole building with a flipping pocket knife, brother. How have you done that? How strong are you, my guy? Gero jumps to safety, but this nigga is on his ass, and Gero pops out 2 fent needles and sticks it in his neck, and this nigga is now wired. He is ready to beat some fucking ass, bro. Gero now is charging up. The hitman hunter goes for the slash. He dodges that shit, hits him with an elbow, then a uppercut. Niggas in the air. Now he's hitting him with a barrage of punches, coming in with the right hand hook, brother, straight to the stomach. That nigga hits him so hard he fell off the building, brother. But the thing is, the fight is not over. This nigga is hanging from the roof with one hand, and guess what? This nigga's on the phone, brother. He is talking to someone whilst he's pulling himself up with one hand. And when this hitman hunter gets up from the roof, and when this hitman hunter gets on top of the roof, he picks up a metal banner. Them shits are fucking heavy as heck. How are you holding it with one hand? Gero goes in to finish the job. This nigga counters Gero, and he swings the banner at his head. Gero dodges that shit. The hunter goes in for the strike whilst he's recovering. He dodges again, and there's just a flurry of strikes and dodges. Since Gero is on the ropes right now, he uses a bottle of acid to cut the flipping banners up. Now these men are at a standstill. Ghetto decides to hit another fent needle just to start bleeding the fuck out. That nigga could not handle a further hit, bro. This nigga ends up passing out, and the hitman hunter is about to finish the job. But Kimi comes in with the rescue by doing a dance with her hamsters, and somehow she convinces this nigga to let all of them go. By the way, the hitman hunter's name is Peachy. Yes, this nigga's name is Peachy, and he's out here taking out professional assassins. Peachy's main goal is to kill all members of the Beast Clan, who are a family of assassins, and he's doing this because he wants to open up a coffee shop with his girlfriend. What a sweet guy. But the world is so fucked, he can't do that, so he decided to clean up the world himself. And honestly, he could actually do it. At this point, Gero's job is already finished, since Kimi actually only hired him to protect her from the hitman hunter. So as these guys are talking, the necklace that Kimi is wearing starts to strangle her, and these men start hearing a voice. This is the true mastermind of the Beast Clan, and he tells all these men that she is going to die. Gero can't have this, so he goes on a hunt for this guy to save Kimi's life. So Gero finds out the island that the Beastmaster is actually hiding on, and he ends up going there with Kimi, and Kimi is kidnapped by an eagle. This nigga ain't having it, so he pops another needle and starts to run on water. I didn't know Fent can make a nigga run on water. What kind of concoction does this, bro? So Gero is now face to face with this eagle guy who kidnapped Kimi and beats the fuck out this nigga, and he gets him to spill his fucking guts. And this nigga did not even torture him, he just asked where the Beastmaster was. And once this guy spills his guts, the Beastmaster kills him, bro, because he's wearing the same necklace as Kimi is. Now that they have all the information they need, they go into a cave to rest up a little, but they are attacked by some small fries. Gero gets rid of them real quick and goes back to the cave to see Kimi, but he finds the Beastmaster. This nigga is just posted up in his cave, and I don't know how he got there or how he even snuck behind Gero, and Kimi is nowhere to be seen. She has been kidnapped again, and the Beastmaster is just there rage baiting Gero, bro. But this nigga is strong. He is not falling for the rage bait until this nigga gets in his face, and damn, that nigga just pulls out the needle, bro. He just pulls out the fan. That nigga was trying to stab his eye, bro. And he dodges the attempt, and he lets his henchmen to handle him, knowing he just sent these niggas to death. Gero gets rid of these niggas real quick, chase this nigga through the forest, and he finds himself in front of a mountain full of assassins. Since this is a bit too much for anyone, even if you're on Fent, bro, and he's actually defeated, and he's on the ground right now, and water just starts filling up, bro. And we see that astronaut assassin come back, bro. She came back to back the beef, but honestly, she's only here because May hired her as a backup, and they end up just murking every single one of them. And this nigga Gero ends up risen the Watermaster. This guy just hits fence and rises up women, but then when he's not on fence, he can't. And no, okay, it's the fence. The fence makes him confident. Okay, I see it. And we end up seeing where Kimi is being held up, and it's just full of people in clear glass cages. And we get a little backstory on Kimi, why she fell in love with Gero so easily. And it turns out that Gero saved her from being kidnapped as a kid. I can't lie, she just likes to get kidnapped. I don't care. It has to be like a fantasy of her. Cause brother, how have you been kidnapped as a kid, now you're getting kidnapped again? Brother, there's something going on, bro. What are you doing to be getting kidnapped this many times? And when Gero saved her as a kid from being kidnapped, that's when she actually fell in love with her boy. Back to the main timeline. So Gero and the Watermaster are close to reaching the top of the mountain, and they are stopped by a group of Walrus Masters, and they just take them out so quickly, bro. Like, bro, I don't know why they even put this scene in here. Since they were the last line of defense, they end up getting to the base to find Peachy is almost dead, and May is carrying him on her back, bro. And the Beastmaster is inches away from taking them out, so the Watermaster sprays them with water, saving them from his clutches, and this nigga transforms into some abomination. And it seems like Gero and everyone but May is down for the count, but nah, Gero stands up, and this nigga decides to hit another fence stick, bro. The last time he had 3, he passed out, and this nigga is literally passing out whilst he's standing up. So the Beastmaster decides to use this chance to kill him, but this nigga dodges it. Like, what? This nigga is half asleep, half knocked out, and he's dodging attacks. I can't lie, if I was is this guy? My nigga, I'm leaving. How is a nigga almost dead and he's still dodging my attacks? Since this nigga Gero is him, he locks the fuck in and kicks this nigga's face onto the ground. But this was not enough to take the Beastmaster out, and he turns into a whole fucking mole, bro, and digs into the ground, and he sprouts these snake mole creatures attacking Gero, but Gero is not phased and cuts all them niggas down, bro, all them creatures down, let me say. Then this donut decides to put his face on a snake looking creature and tries to intimidate Gero, but Gero is not phased. He throws acid onto this nigga, but that did not work. So the Beastmaster unleashes his ultimate ability and tries to attack Gero, but Gero is him, bro. Did you forget this nigga is him, bro? So Gero starts moving so fast that his attacks are not even touching him. And Gero puts his fingers together and uses a new technique, splashing his blood everywhere, taking out all of the Beastmaster's ability. This nigga is shook. And how do I know this? It's because this nigga decides to transform into another beast, thinking he could beat him. Nigga, you already tried this trick already. How is this transformation any different from the rest of them? So Gero starts dashing at this nigga. He is dodging all the things he's throwing. Nigga is speeding towards him. Now the Beastmaster is dashing towards Gero, and Gero dodges his attack, climbing onto his back and just touching the back of this nigga's neck. And this nigga just starts dying, bro. As this nigga is laid on the ground about to die, he sees May and decides to go for the attack, bro. And just before he's about to bite her head off, this nigga just stops, and we see Kimmy and all the prisoners she's rescued, and all these niggas are calling out for their pets because this nigga stole all of their pets, because all of these men are Beastmasters. So as all of these niggas are whistling, barking, just calling out to their beasts, this nigga just can't move a muscle, bro. All of his power is getting sucked out of... Okay, what the fuck, nigga? All of his powers are getting drained, and this nigga freaks the fuck out and goes for another last attempt. And Gero is like, nah, fuck you, nigga. Touches this nigga's head and just completely just smashes it straight into the fucking ground, bro. And this nigga just dies. If this nigga is not dead by now, I don't know what can kill this nigga, bro. Since Gero's mission is officially over, these men start to leave the island, and Kimmy does a little thank you show with all the people she rescued for Gero, and Gero takes this chance to wife her up. This nigga freezes up, so Kimmy starts to confess her feelings, but she tells this nigga they can't be together since she thinks she will be too dependent on Gero, and Gero tells her he'll just wait for her. This scene was very sweet, but then I realized you only raised her up because she got kidnapped, bro. You trauma raised her, bro. You are actually the king of trauma riz and Fent.